Hey guys, what is up? Ioki here, bringing you some more coaching sessions. Today we are playing, not playing, coaching a player by the name of the GD Kite. And this guy has been an excellent member of the community for a really, really long time. And I'm going to be real with you, I never understood that GD stood for what is in his name. Interesting. I just always read it as GD Kite. Anyways, let's get into the coaching. Before we get into laning phase and everything, this is going to be like a very, very comprehensive coaching guide on a Swain support game. I want to talk a little bit about your runes. I saw you went for an offensive Dark Harvest page. I'm sure that you've looked up guides and stuff and realized that Dark Harvest is kind of like a more for fun rune, especially in the support role. Unless you're playing something like Brand, who with like constant tick damage and like access to Demonic and Leandries on top of his burn damage is going to get really, really easy access to Dark Harvest procs. Whereas Swain is more of like, especially in laning phase, you don't necessarily have to go Dark Harvest. Electrocute is super, super easy. It's very natural to proc just playing Swain normally, using Swain's combo naturally. You know, you E, you auto, you E, you Q, electrocute, boom, right? Whereas with Dark Harvest, you kind of have to play around the fact that you have Dark Harvest, right? And honestly, in my experience anyways, even though Dark Harvest is a really fun rune, most of the time when you're proccing Dark Harvest, it's in a scenario where you would have killed them anyway. So like, it's fun to see that Dark Harvest fly out of them, but if we're talking purely for usefulness and, you know, accessibility and just good, you know, how good the rune is, Electrocute page is always going to be better than Dark Harvest, but, you know, we're running with the assumption that you already know that. So we have already started our E. You want to be a little careful about starting abilities before you see anyone. You know, with Swain, you're probably always going to start E, even if you do get invaded, worst case scenario, right? But it's not like that for every champion. So get into the habit of not putting a point into anything, especially if you play a variety of champions, until you get to landing phase, until you need the skill. So I mentioned earlier, let's talk about the worst case scenario. I'm not sure if you've watched any of my other coaching sessions, but that is definitely like a recurring thing that I basically live my League of Legends gameplay life by. You want to train yourself to always be thinking about what is the absolute worst case scenario, right? If Diana leaves this bush for 5 seconds and you guys lose vision, the worst case scenario, right, is that your entire team is stacked as 5 and has traveled along this wall and are now on your bot try, right? Worst case scenario, you're backing up Gragas, 5 of them are right here, right? And they can get to Gragas before you guys get back up. So just always be thinking about that, and if you train yourself to always be operating under the absolute worst case scenario. So right now, let's take a little quiz. What is the worst case scenario? You are now 2-man deep in their jungle. You're not even traveling with your jungler. So like, this is probably not what Diana has as her, you know, plan of action. She's, you know, all junglers like kind of map out their pathing and stuff, right? You two dying in their jungle is probably not part of her plan. Absolute worst case scenario. What is it? Tell me. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. Because to me, the worst case scenario is that you guys have now lost vision here. 5 of them, you've stepped on a ward somewhere since no one brought a sweeper. You stepped on a ward, and now 5 of them are ambushing you guys from behind. So just always be thinking about that. Like, I don't think that's actually going to happen, especially in a silver game. But, you know, as you climb higher into gold and plat, these worst case scenarios are going to become realities. So you don't want, you know, I assume you don't always want to be silver. So in order to not always be silver, you have to start playing as if you are not silver. So, right, you've kind of like caused this, right? And no matter whether it goes well or goes poorly, you've caused this. You are the catalyst of it. You've now taken your jungler off their buff. You're now engaging in a 4v5 possibly, for an enemy buff, which they have the advantage in. So yeah, you know, you get some damage on Aurelia. This will probably go fine, but okay, you guys maybe get first blood, but okay, you guys didn't get first blood. Now you're getting zoned away from the blue. They get first buff. This is massive. This is a massive, terrible thing that you've done. Like, I know you probably thought, oh, let's maybe get some invade action going. Let's maybe get a little bit of damage on Kayn, mess up his pathing, but this is something that you dragged your entire team into, whether you meant to or not, and it's really, really bad. Because let's talk about how bad this is. Your jungler is now level 1. She's not getting a leash at her red or blue buff. Kayn now knows which buff Diana's starting because he's going to see her path to your red or her blue. Kayn is now an entire level up on her. Kayn can now challenge Diana in her jungle. You're going to miss 1 or 2 experience in bot lane. Diana is now soaking XP from Gragas, so now he's not going to get level 2 when he should be. So yes, they happen to cheese a kill off Irelia, but you don't want to take credit for that, right? Overall, this was something really, really dumb and bad that we did, and you were kind of the catalyst for it. You're kind of the shot caller here. It's a little nitpicky, but oh, are you leashing Diana? Okay, you're wanting to leash her. Okay, at this point, honestly, you've done enough damage. At this point, like, if this is the state of the game, just go to lane. You're putting yourself at a bigger disadvantage by, you know, saving Diana like 5 or 6 seconds. So I would have just gone to lane. So it looks like Samir took a little bit of a beating. Oh, she traded with Jhin though. All right, Vygar's cage is down. We can actually look for a look here. All right, let me talk about what should be happening, and let me tell you what I think is going to happen. So we got to remember this is low elo, and you know you do have to play as if you're against low elo players, so you can take advantage of their mistakes. I think you're about to go for an E on this Jhin here, and it's probably going to work. Where it wouldn't work is any respectable elo. Let's just see how it plays out. Okay, so we look for an E. It's going to work out. He's going to flash. No, he's going to die. Okay, he kited forward for some reason. Okay, so what should have happened there is you should have been very, very harshly punished for being way too far ahead of your ADC. Your ADC got zoned by the box here, right? So we walk up and we're taking a 1v2 trade, and any respectable elo, you get absolutely chunked, if not killed here, honestly. So good looks. I'm glad that it worked out. It's a misplay on Jin's part. I like the good early ignite. You know, I'm going to point out the good things and the bad things that you did, right? Good thing is that you got the early ignite. It cut the heal in half, and you did get the kill. So bad thing is that you want to always be drawing like a parallel line between you and your ADC. You want to be thinking, like I always get people, I'm sure you've seen them, people in my chat that are asking like, man, I always play Leona and I always go in and my ADC never follows up. It's because you're engaging when they're way back here. Samir is a very, very, very short range ADC. So in a respectable elo, they're just going to take this fight. He's going to sidestep your E, they're going to chunk you, and you're either going to die or you're going to have to go back. Notice how long it takes Samira to even get into like range of this. It takes her like 4 seconds. That's 4 seconds where you're basically 2v1. So it is good. You know, you got the kill. It worked out. That's fine. But I don't want you thinking that like, you don't want to learn the wrong lessons from success, essentially. When something goes right, it doesn't necessarily always mean that was the best play. It just means that that was the successful play. So when I do my coaching sessions, like, yeah, it's great that you're picking up on these people making mistakes, but like, I don't want you learning the wrong things from them. Alright, nice. So we're fishing with our E. That's good. This is actually good to be fishing with E here, because look, Samira actually is in range when you're fishing, and you guys have a wave. So if they actually fight back here, so let's say we land this, we pull them here. Look, you and Samira are basically like the exact same distance from them. So that's actually good, and you got the entire wave, so they can't fight back. That was a good fish. It didn't work out. And when I mean fish, I mean you're like, you know, you're casting your fishing line. If it works, you go for it. If not, oh well. Alright, we got this to touch the turret, so we go back because they're stuck here eating waves. This is good. This is a good back. Now, what I want to see, because I know you watch a lot of Ioki, what I want to see you do is, because you got to kill early, you got to kill an assist. I know you have enough gold for boots, and I know that you know Aurelia has no flash because she died level 1. So what you should be doing is buying boots and walking mid, pathing straight mid. Swain is not necessarily known for his roams, but it doesn't matter. Support is... Okay, Aurelia's dead, so that's kind of irrelevant, but I imagine you wouldn't have pathed mid anyways. And that's kind of what I'm trying to hammer home, is that taking up pathing mid from base, especially after your first buy and you're getting boots, which you did, great job. That's super, super powerful, and it's something that low elo supports absolutely never do. This fight, like, imagine if Aurelia didn't die, you walk mid, you kill the Aurelia for her second time, she's now tilted, she's flaming her Vygar. Why is my Vygar not roaming? She doesn't understand that he has to sit there and eat waves. That's one of the best things you can do. It's one of the, like, the biggest freedoms of the support role, is that you shove this in, they sit here having to eat these waves. They can't just leave these waves, they can't back either. So you have Vision of Vygar, you walk mid. Low elo supports never roam. and it's the freest kills ever. High elo, I'm having to constantly ping people. Like, literally, the second the enemy support leaves, I'm having to type. Like, okay, they left vision 5 seconds ago. Be careful mid, be careful top. The beauty of low elo supports, they never roam. Doesn't matter. Bro, you could be playing Yumi, and you can roam and get free kills. It's crazy. Alright, so it's a little nitpicky, but I'm going to get a little nitpicky here. So, Vigar is now in auto range of Samira. Do you think that this Vigar is going to path forward and go further into Samira melee range, or path backwards towards the safety of his turret? So the obvious answer is you think he's going to path backwards, right? He wants to get closer to his ADC. He wants to get closer to safety, to his turret. He's not going to get closer to the low range ADC. So why do we throw it ahead of him? If you start thinking about trying to get into the enemy's mindset, you know, eventually, you know, some when you're playing Thresh, when you're playing Blitzcrank, sometimes it comes down to a coin flip, right? Are they going to dodge left or right? But sometimes there's absolute reasons behind why they're reacting the way they are. They're pathing backwards because you instinctively always kite towards your turret, towards safety. So if you threw this backwards, pull him, he's CC'd into the wall, very, very easy kill, another kill. So it's a little nitpicky, but just be thinking about that. When you get an angle like this, are they going to path forward? And even if they do path forward, let's say you throw it behind him, forcing them to path forward, he still dies. He still walks into Samira. Or you at least get his flash. But because you threw it ahead of him, he has no reason to walk forward. Of course he's not going to walk into the Swain Hook and Samira. So make him choose one or the other. Alright, we got Diana here. It's not looking like it's going to work out. It's fine. Nice, nice. Very, very good look. Really, really good look. You hit both of them. You delayed the pull. Very nice. You walked into the stun a little bit, but it's alright. Alright, nice. We walked backwards just enough. Alright, so once again, I guess this one's fine because blowing your flash on an immobile ADC is fine. But honestly, if you flash, you can actually throw the E a little bit forward. Think about this. If you throw it forward, you get him if he flashes and if he doesn't flash. Because that E's coming back, right? That E's coming back. So throw that a little bit forward. Be thinking, when you do an action, there's always going to be a reaction. Unless you're playing against like literal iron players who don't have a pulse and aren't going to be reacting to anything. They have no reflexes. They have no nerve endings. Sorry to any iron players watching this. Just think, when you do an action, there's always going to be a reaction. So if you can think ahead to how they're going to react, that's how you get these crazy montage plays of people, oh my god, he predicted the flash because he thought ahead. Is he going to flash? That's his only action. That's his only option to live here, is to flash, right? Because if he doesn't flash, the E hits him. So why not put your E in a way that it hits him even if he does flash? But it's fine. It's a good trade still. Alright, so Vigar and Jhin flashes are down. We've still got Samira flash. Now, one thing we haven't been thinking about is the jungler, right? So where is the jungler? If you had to take an absolute guess at the jungler's position, where would you guess? You really have no information. It's honestly 50-50. Actually, I'd say it's like 75-25 that he's bot side just due to like the timing of the camps and stuff like that. I would say he's probably somewhere over here. Is your jungler, if you got ganked literally right now, is your jungler in a place to react? Sort of, if you stall it a little bit. But you just always want to be thinking, where is the jungler? So against a jungler like Kayn, who one can dash over walls, so this ward is going to see him too late, and two can walk through walls, you want to be warding deeper into the jungle. So, like, you've had a couple timings. You could have done it even straight from base, actually. You want to walk up in here when they're shoved under their turret and they're having to right-click minions, right? You want to take that advantage and you want to get deep vision because information is absolute king. Everything in League of Legends is information, right? Everything that we've talked about with like how they're going to react to your E and how they're going to dodge and are they going to flash or not, it's all information. Jhin is reacting to the information that your E will kill him by flashing, right? Vigar is reacting to the information that Samira is a low-range ADC that will absolutely scalp him in 3 or 4 seconds if he walks forward, so he dodges backwards, right? Once you start to think about those connections, we want information, right? So the information you should have gotten is deep vision. If you can see, because think about it, if you get deep vision over here when they were stuck under their turret, you can see Kayn this bot. That allows your top laner to play more aggressive. That allows your mid laner to play, you know, towards top side so that they don't get ganked. That allows your Diana, if she's in a position where she can 1v1 the jungler, to know exactly where he's at and where to go for him. Or we see what camps are up, so that allows your Diana to know that, like, oh, I can go take these camps because, you know, like, it just gives so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on all vision, and we're going to see, I'm pretty sure Kayn is bot side. So Kayn is bot side. So if we had taken one of our earlier, opportunities to ward, like right here, this is a much more valuable ward than this and this against a jungler like Kayn. You kind of have to ward differently against different junglers, because like I said, Kayn can dash over this wall, and Kayn can walk through this wall. So what's this ward going to do? Nothing. You need a ward here, or if you're not quite confident to walk in to get a ward here, you can get a ward here. Alright, so we slaughtered Jhin. Good stuff. But, okay, so Kayn comes bot. Kayn does eventually come bot. And let's see how many of your wards pick him up. 0. 0 of your wards picked him up. This ward didn't pick him up. This ward didn't pick him up. Ward deep. Deep ward jungle. Whenever you can. Whenever you can get an opportunity. And start that mental process. Start thinking about, like, when are my opportunities to get deep vision? Like, you killed Jhin earlier, right? Let's go get a deep ward. We didn't kill Veigar, but we made him recall. Let's go get a deep ward. So be looking for those opportunities. Alright, once again, you really want to train yourself to be walking straight to mid. Because these guys are not pushing this wave anytime fast. I mean, even if they are actually pushing it. Okay, good. Samira gets solo experience then. This would be a perfect opportunity to be walking mid, plopping this beautiful control ward down here in the river, getting river vision control, clearing out the bottom bush, doing everything you can for your mid laner short of wiping his butt. Solo laners are... Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, we stopped the dragon. Oh my god, and we killed the Kayn. Okay, no comment on that. That's just kind of like low elo shenanigans. It was a good check on the dragon, actually. Definitely want to see you pathing mid from bot lane, though. Or pathing mid from base. You will see an exponential increase in your win rate. I'm telling you. If you start pathing mid from base, getting those successful ganks off, and even if the ganks don't work, start thinking, why did they not work? Was it warded? When did they ward it? Did I know that they warded it? You know, let's say you roam mid from base, and then your ADC dies 1v2 way up here. Oh, okay, so that's a point where I shouldn't have roamed mid. I should have came bot and helped him shoved it in first, right? You want to be making these mistakes so that you can learn from these mistakes. But definitely start the process by roaming mid, bro. I'm telling you, you need to start pathing mid. It's god tier. Okay, nice. Use your W to stop his recall. We're fishing a little bit. No big deal. I do like how you're fishing with your E, and if it doesn't land, I see so many Swains for some reason, they'll fish with their E, it doesn't land, and then they sit there and trade auto attacks in Q or something with Jhin. You're not going to win that trade. I'm liking that you're throwing the E. If it doesn't work, you just back off. So currently we are 2-0-2. We have a very high AP lead on Veigar. Huge kill potential anytime we land an E. That's another E. Okay, it's another kill. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so this... okay, so here comes Kayn. Super ambitious E. I don't like it. I don't even care if it works. This is the most ambitious... this should absolutely result in the death of your Samira. You need to be way more patient. I mean, it is impressive that it hit. But that is the Kayn's misplay. You know, awesome play. I'm glad it hit. But taking unnecessary risks like that is not going to pay off in better elo. You getting some crazy plays this game, bro. Is this a coaching session or a highlight reel? Alright, shove the lane. I'm not going to say it, but you already know what I want you to say. Should be pathing mid. Alright, we are level 6. We are about to have both our summoners up. We should absolutely... I'm not seeing nearly enough Pinglish. Not seeing nearly enough Pinglish. You know what that is? That's my favorite new word. Ping English, guys. Pinging is a language, and I'm not seeing you ping nearly enough. You should be calling. You have 4 people strong bot side. You have summoners. You have very easy access to shoving this wave and getting bot prio. You can just run at this guy, and he'll have to back up. So you should be calling the dragon right now. You should be making that shot call. Nice, nice, nice. Just all in that. Just all in that. No. Just all in that, bro. This is it. Look, listen. They blew everything. They blew everything on the Samira. They blew everything, right? That's Vigar E, Vigar Q, Vigar R. That's Gen Q, Gen W, Gen E. You land the E, you do everything right. The second this E lands, you press R and you start draining them. You press R. Press R and start running him down. Honestly, the only thought process that should be going through your head is, am I killing Vigar or am I killing both of them? You're looking way too hesitant here for someone that just got 100% kill secured. Press R. Press R. Okay, you got the Vigar flash. There you go. You do eventually press R. I want to see it way sooner. The sooner, it's kind of one of those things. It's like Ignite. The sooner you get it draining, the better, right? Excellent. Excellent job. Double kill. Good catch. Now. Hey, this is what I like to see. This is what I like to see, bro. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you the good stuff you're doing, and I'm going to tell you the really bad stuff you're doing. We've seen a lot of bad, but this is the best thing I've seen you do, honest to God. Information is king, brother. Good stuff. You killed their bot lane. Worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario. You know where their top laner is, you know where their mid laner is. Worst case scenario, it's Kayn. He's not going to one-shot you. Not yet, anyways. So you know you're safe to get that ward. Look at that. You're getting another one. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Huge. All right, we are 5-0-3 as Swain support. Excellent. All right, now we getting our roam on. That's a little risky roaming to this. The only thing you guys have going for you, honestly, is that Alawi is out of mana. Worst case scenario, Aurelia has shoved her lane. She could be roaming topside, and Kayn could be right behind Alawi. And you don't have your ultimate, and you don't have Ignite. So you have no way of putting Grievous Wounds on Alawi, who is a very, very healy person. So this could, this could be, it's a little risky, but it worked out because you're, like, turbo fed. Kayn was actually behind her, by the way. Another god tier. Oh, and Aurelia was behind her, too. Alright, let's see what Aurelia's got. She drops the Ignite. Looks like you're going to die here. Yep. So, suspect, I probably wouldn't have committed as hard as you did. I maybe would have been, like, pinging. If you do, like, blue pings, like, put one blue ping on top of Sejuani and then blue ping down here. That kind of, like, communicates her to, like, play towards you, right? Because you hardcore played into her, right? You played towards her. Would have been a little bit better and a little bit safer if she could have played towards you, like kited the Aurelia towards you. All right, this is what I'm liking to see. This is what I'm liking to see. There's absolutely no reason for you to be bot, right? So you're getting you've got all kinds of great real estate here. Well, that could have gone better, but I'm sure you know that. Alright, the problem with walking over a ward and still going for the gank is that you've given them way more information about you than you have about them, right? There are now 3 people missing. We can still safely assume that Jhin is bot or has recently recalled, but we haven't seen Vigar or Kayn, right? So the second this gank doesn't work, it's whatever. People miss skill shots. It's fine. You still could have made the gank work if Gragas flash E'd or E-flash or pressed R because you can actually pull her out of the R. But the second the gank doesn't work, there's this like defeated look on you guys, right? Oh, dang it. The gank doesn't work. You need to take a safer path. You need to take a way safer path, and the safer path is towards your turret, not through the entirely unwarded river. Because by the time you run into Vigar, like we see Kayn, we're like, okay, we're safe from Kayn. But by the time we see Vigar, it's too late to path this way. And in a lot of games, getting a kill like that is... Oh, God. What did I just watch? A lot of games, getting a kill like that onto like hyper carry junglers or hyper carry mid laners, that's going to be enough to throw the game. So be willing to cut your losses, which is fine if the gank doesn't work out, but do it in a smarter way. All right, now once again, we've got our ulti up. So why are we waiting so late? The nice thing about your ulti is that you can almost cast it while you're CC'd. It kind of like negates out the CC, right? Like if you cast it right now and then walk to the edge of this cage, these guys are doomed. They instantly back up. They don't even kill Gragas, honestly. You zone them so hard. So I think you're waiting a little bit too long to cast your ultimate. You do end up killing all three of these guys. Dude, you're on a freaking rampage this game. 8-2-4 support slain. Let's go, man. But we overstay. All right, so let me see what do you think we can learn from this? Obviously, we overstayed. But let's use our knowledge, let's use our game knowledge about champions here, right? What does Aurelia need to branch this distance to this distance? Because it looks like you're standing pretty far away from her, right? What does she need between you and her to kill you right now? She needs 1 minion. Right? So you always want to be thinking, what is between me and them? Is like if she didn't go in on you, you should be thinking about that too. Like, what's the reason she's not going in on me? Is she baiting for her jungler? Is she just disrespecting my damage, right? Always be thinking about these things. If you look at people's body language, you can learn so much. Like, why is, when mid laners randomly go in, like, is it because their jungler's there? Why has the mid laner been playing super passive the entire game and now all of a sudden is looking for a trade? It's probably because their jungler's there. Why are they playing to a certain side of the lanes? Probably because their jungler's there. Alright, at this point, I would say this is a bad roam. And now you probably have never heard me use that term before, because almost all support roams are good roams, because bot lane sucks, and any reason to get out of it is fantastic. But let's look at the map. An Aurelia that has already solo killed us once. She has Merc Treads. You have very little kill potential. No matter how fed you are, she's got 3 levels on you because you're a support. Your jungler is dead, so it's not like we're going to be taking any 2v2 skirmishes in the top side. And your top laner is playing Sejuani and is under her turret. This is actually a bad roam. The best thing you could have done here is just come mid and very, very, very safely soaked experience. But you're actually giving them a little bit of kill potential in Samira for no real reason. Yeah, very, very risky positioning. You do not have nearly, like, you want to be thinking about that. I keep going back to it, I know. But think about the absolute worst case scenario. Pretend that we don't see Kayn. Pretend that we're, 2 seconds back. Worst case scenario, you're running into Kayn in one of these bushes, and no one is on the map. Literally, no one is on the map to save you. So I like the idea. I don't like this idea. Remember, I know you're kind of like on a power high right now because you got a lot of kills this Swain support, but you're still 4 levels down on Aurelia. She gets a lot of base stats from just leveling up. Alright, so this is not working. I think at this point we should just acknowledge the fact that the mid ganks are not working, so we should go somewhere else. We should play towards Dragon. This is actually great. We hard chunked Aurelia, so why am I not seeing a million spam pings on the Dragon coming out of you? I'm seeing a couple of your other teammates pinging things. I'm not seeing a single ping from you. I want to see you spam ping. It's one of your greatest assets. Solo queue is all about limited communication. So typically, you got 5 people, and if one of them is communicating, you have a massive advantage over the other team, because the other team's probably not communicating at all. So spam ping the Dragon. You don't even need to be mid right now. You just want to be setting up vision for Dragon. Oh, guess we're fighting Aurelia. All right, so I'm getting the idea that you know what you're doing mechanically as Swain and laning phase. You're a little lost, you're a little foggy-headed on what you should be doing, where you should be, and when during laning phase. I mean, sorry, mid game. So, I mean, mechanical misplay. Diana probably shouldn't have taken the fight. It's whatever. Not really much to coach there. But yeah, I definitely need to see like way more decisiveness and like kind of it seems like halfway through mid game you started roaming without actually understanding like why or where you're going to. You just kind of started roaming, and I was really excited to see it because I'm like, oh great, excellent. Now he's doing the base to mid roams. But then like, why are you at mid? Why are you at blue buff right now? Literally, why are you at blue buff? You should be pathing straight to mid because we see that our ADC's in danger. Okay, now we're taking a vacation at the Rift Herald. So we're just looking. Also, this ward should be way closer to this. This ward does not see inside the pit. There could literally be a. There's not, but there could be a ward over here that this does not pick up. So you always want to see. You always want to put your control ward literally right in the face. Put it on top of it because it'll like push it out a little bit. You want to put it in the exact same spot. Same for Baron. It's a much better ward because it sees the entire pit and it sees out here. Alright, we are letting Samira get way too... Okay, this should just be a dead Samira. I don't know if you're like trying to let her bait or using her as bait or something, but you are not nearly close enough to respond to that Samira if she is actually in mortal danger. Okay, it turned out, but I stand by my statement. She shouldn't have been there, and you shouldn't have like allowed her to be there alone. Same with you. You should not be up here alone. We don't have any vision on them. They have characters that can literally walk through the walls. You are not safe, really, anywhere. So, I definitely wouldn't have pathed through here. This is very risky. What if Vigar was here and boxed you here, and then Kayn was here, and now you're in the box for 4 seconds, and then you die. So, path back out towards your minions. Take a safer pathing. After you, so I'm starting to see that as a pattern too. Like with the mid gank that didn't work earlier, you pathed in an unsafe way. Here, the gank did work. You know, you guys did kill Aurelia. You pushed it all the way to turret. It's successful. You still pathed safely. So whether the action that you just took goes well or goes poorly, you're not exiting safely. You're not taking safe pathing out. We got a little spooked there. Wasted our ulti, but I do like the, Ionian boots. I've never seen CDR boots on Swain. I would have to actually look up a build and see if that's good. I can't imagine that being very good. If anything, I would have gone possibly Merc Treads this game. Merc Treads plated steel caps are really, really good this season. Or just, Sork shoes. With as big of a lead as you have, honestly, basically playing an AP mage could have been good. Alright. So, a little bit of yakety sax going on. Once again, we're not taking safe pathing out, but I won't harp on it. Alright, we actually are pathing the correct way this time. We're going top because we see someone that's getting collapsed on. We want to push out top because the next objective is dragon. So we want to be getting mid and top prio for our dragon fight. Another skirmish breaks out. Alright. Yeah, so the game's kind of devolving into just like, classic low elo, nonsense, buffoonery. And that's a little harder to coach and to like, say, oh, you should have acted this way in this absolute fiesta. But I will keep my eye out for things that you can still be changing. Because the more control you can keep on a game, like right now, you should be. It's fiesta to sit here and do this, right? We literally killed them. We took our bruises. We should go be getting our dragon, right? We have control of the dragon. We have vision control, which is great. We'll see him coming a mile away. But why are we under their turret? Why are we doing any of this? You need to be control. You need to be at least asserting some semblance of control, and I know it's hard, especially in low elo. You got players acting like chickens with their heads cut off, but I'm telling you, more players are way more receptive to leadership in League of Legends than people think they are. As long as you're leading them, and that's like leading them to results, they'll keep listening to you. So if no one tells these idiots to back off, they're never gonna back off. They'll sit here and take these idiotic fights under their tier 2 turret for no reason until they die, right? So you need to be the one telling them to back off because you're doing the same thing, right? And yes, it did work out for you because you're turbo fed and these guys are morons, but like it's not always going to be like that. You don't want to play under the assumption that it is. Also, you need to be backing up your ADC here. You are definitely a huge threat at this game. You just pop R and like look at them menacingly and they'll back up. So I don't know if you're just unaware that Samira is getting like gangbanged over here, but that is that's not good. All right, so we did get the dragon. We got 3 dragons. Massive pressure on the game. We got soul point now. So if this was me, I would be typing to my team, hey, save your summoners and ultis because we're going to be fighting for the soul. It's a mountain soul, which is one of the better ones. Okay, we've got a TP coming in behind him, so we need to start the fight right now. Excellent, excellent. All right. Honestly, you're strong enough in this particular game to take this fight and win this fight. But what I would have done, and in a more typical Swain game, the smarter play to do here, would be to let your actual carries DPS the Aurelia, and for you to zone the Aurelia from getting on your carry. So basically just like standing here and kind of kiting towards Jhin rather than flashing after the Aurelia. What that does is it keeps the Aurelia from entering the fight. It also keeps Kayn away from the fight, and it puts a lot of pressure on Jhin, who doesn't have flash right now, so he would just die, like really, really fast. But we don't do that. Jhin does still die, looks like. But yeah, that's how I would have played that fight. When I saw the fight breaking out, that was my first instinct as to how you should be playing it as support. Alright, looks like we end up dying. Speaking of dying, old Diana's going in. Here we go, baby. Nice little one shot. So again, these skirmishes are kind of just like uncoachable nonsense, but it's getting a little getting a little hectic. What are you at, bro? 14-6. Good God. Is this a pop off or what? All right. Once again, you need to be aware of when action is going on. Like, I'm not sure if you're going to ward here or something, but when this many players are on the map, what you should be doing, I mean, one, like I said, you should be telling these guys to back up. There's literally no reason to be taking this fight. Look at your wave is. Even if you win this fight, you don't get the turret. So, like, why fight under the turret? But you need to be aware that the fight is going on and that this is where you should be. You should be at least walking towards there. I'm not sure if you're getting vision or what. So they win the fight without you. Okay. I want to see in the next 5 seconds, if I don't see you spamming Baron, that is a misplay. If you are not spam pinging Baron, their jungler is dead for 30 seconds. You have a god tier zoning ultimate. You guys are super far ahead. And instead we're pushing for a tier 2 turret that ultimately doesn't matter. Guess what? You can take the tier 2 turret after you get Baron. You had all 5 people. Look at this. Look how perfect this Baron was. You have all 5 people in spitting distance. In spitting distance of Baron. Not a single person pinged Baron. So you need to go into your next game. You need to be training yourself through this coaching session and the other ones that I've uploaded on YouTube. Do what you got to do. My games, my stream, whatever. Train yourself. This should be a free Baron. Super free. People are way too afraid of Baron and low elo. They treat it as if it's some like in-game raid boss. It's really not. It's not a threat at all. If you guys can just, the only reason it's a threat is the threat of the throw, right? The only way that Baron it like actually presents a danger to you guys is if all 5 of you guys are fighting it and then you also have to take a fight over here. But there's no way they're going to take the fight, right? There's no way. So it's just a free Baron. It's just a free Baron. There's not even a threat of like getting out smited. So I would say that's one of the biggest misplays of the game, because I think you guys are probably just going to run over these guys. You're going to stampede over them. You're that far ahead, but not taking the Baron here means that, like, what if you and Gragas died here and the enemy team did take the Baron, right? That could have been a massive throw. You always want to think about the worst case scenario, right? You and Gragas do die here. Luckily, they got a Diana. You guys got a Diana, so she's gonna one shot. Yakety Sax plays. I definitely would have highly prioritized a stopwatch in this scenario. Swain has a really, I'm sure you already know this. Swain's got a god tier interaction with stopwatch where you can pop his ultimate, basically use all 3 of his spells, go into stopwatch. His ultimate continues healing him and continues draining him. It's like the only champion that gets to abuse stopwatch like that. So getting a stopwatch into Zhonya's, I would have said, is probably like maybe get the Oblivion Orb, but stop there. But yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think you've used stopwatch this game. So at least get the stopwatch, if not like buy into whole Zhonya's. All right, so we do end up getting the soul. We're in a really good spot. We probably just take any fight at this point. Yeah, any fight, we win. Yeah, I mean, you guys just stampede over him. What's funny is that you guys are now going to Baron when this is actually a scenario when you should be ending. Oh my gosh. I think it's funny. I think that's one of the biggest differences between high and low elo players is like their idea of what Baron is in the game. Like they're afraid of it, but they also think that they need the Baron to end the game. You don't need the Baron to end the game. Their support was literally split pushing. All 5 of you guys are healthy with, well, okay, Gragas isn't, he's a little on the dead side, but you guys have 4 healthy team members with really good ultis still up. And it was just Vigar and possibly Jhin defending the base. You guys already have a wave bot lane, so, at this point, I would have been spam pinging that we don't need the Baron and let's just go in the game. You guys have 40 seconds to literally walk this wave from here to here. You don't think you can do that in 40 seconds? So, even though you are, I can tell at this point you guys are 100% going to win this game. You've got Mountain Soul, you got Baron. This could have, crazier things have happened. What if you do end up throwing and you end up losing the game when you could have ended it? So I'll go ahead and I'll let whatever team fight breaks out and ends this game play out as I kind of recap. The level 1 stuff was really bad. You need to constantly be thinking about absolute worst case scenario. You need to be thinking about kind of like the ripple effect that level 1 could have had on this game. In a higher elo game, that would have been like the end of the game for your jungler, essentially. And he would have let you know, and he would have been tilted. Your mid laner would have been upset. Your ADC would have been upset. You would have been screwed because you would have been missing experience. So that kind of stuff. Definitely be reading into the enemy's body language and training yourself to think about like why are they dodging certain ways, because sometimes it's really easy. They don't have a choice. So you just throw it in that one certain scenario, and even if they dodge it, going back to the Vigar Samira scenario, if he dodged forward, he dies anyway. So, like, of course he's going to dodge backwards. So sometimes, skill shots like Swainy, Blitzcrank hook, Thresh hook, they are crapshoots, they are coin flips, but not always. And you need to be training yourself to determine, or to be able to discern when they are coin flips and when you can actually, like, directly influence which way they dodge. Start roaming mid. Stop roaming aimlessly. Be thinking about where you actually should be. What is the next objective on the map? That being said, congratulations on the Swain pop-off. This felt more like a highlight reel, a little bit of a vanity replay, but hopefully I was able to, still teach you something out of it. Very well played overall. You absolutely 1v9'd as support. Look, you literally made their support, sell their items, so excellent job. GD Kite, if you have absolutely any questions, you know where to reach me on stream. You can DM me on Discord, whatever. To everyone else watching this on YouTube, I hope you guys got something out of it. And let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions or comments. Take it easy, guys, and congratulations on your win, bro. Good luck on climbing. Peace.